All right, so what it do? Welcome to another one for Al Cuerpo Boxing, to the body. So let's get with it. Let's talk some boxing. First and foremost, let's give a moment of silence for the late great Ricky the Hitman Hatton, the pride of Hyde, recently passed away. So let's go ahead and take a moment of silence for him. All right, rest in peace, champ. So it's been a great weekend of boxing. I got some videos to cover on that. But first and foremost, let me go ahead and talk about the Naoya Inoue fight. He recently fought Akmadaliv, right? Murejan, or we'll just call him MJ. Fought him in Japan. By the way, shout out to Medina on the card, who had dethroned Takai in a WBO championship bout. So he's a new 118 champion. That's good news. That's good for 118. Hopefully we can see maybe Nakatani unify for that belt. You know, it's good to see a Paisa from Japan defend this title or unify with a new or former Mexican champion, right, at 118. But back to Naoya Inoue in his fight with MJ. I was watching it live uh, yesterday, obviously, right? I was surprised. This is probably the best form of Naoya Inoue. I should just say Inoue, right? Naoya. Best form of Inoue I've seen since maybe the first Donaire fight. But man, the footwork, the movement, the shot selection, the showboating, clear shutout on MJ. And I even had some fans say, man, maybe MJ took a dive, right? Because we do know that Riyadh season they wanted to do a fight with Inoue versus Picasso, right? I hope I got that right. So I think that's on radar for Inoue in December, right? And I'll dive more into this theory regarding other fights that are so super important on Riyadh season, right? But again, we saw two judges, let's say on an average, two judges had it 118 to 110. One other judge had it 117 to 111. And I'm thinking, I mean, for me, I had every round to Inoue. For me, it was a 120 to 108 type of card. All right. Um, there were some nice moments that MJ was doing some onslaught shots on the ropes on Inoue, but at the same time, Inoue was able to rebound in those exact same rounds to edge it out. All right. If anything, probably those were the swing rounds in favor to MJ, right? Murejan Akhmadaliev. Because I think there was at least 2 or 3 rounds. I know at least 2 rounds where MJ had some good moments on the ropes, but not enough, man. In 3 minutes time, that's not enough time to win the round. But anyway, so that's the swing round theory that I'm going to give those judges. So what's next? By the way, a lot of fans were wanting this fight for the longest, right? MJ, part of the Uzbek crew, right? He's part of the Bek the Bully world, part of the Israel Majamov world, those type of crews, right? Being with the Joel Diaz camp. So a lot of fans wanted that fight. They said that Inoue had to see MJ, even though MJ did lose to Tapales, and Inoue beat Tapales, right? But that's kind of one fight that a lot of fans had been wanting, and so they finally got it. But think about it, guys. They were already selling the Picasso fight months ahead, even before the MJ fight was announced, because the MJ fight that was announced after the whole setup for the Picasso clash in December, right? Japan versus Mexico. So you got to think about that, guys. Maybe some fans they said, "Nah, man, MJ kind of really didn't get his groove on." Whatever, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we can't change what we saw, unless, of course, there's some sort of like adverse findings from Inoue, which I doubt. And I'll get into this theme on the Crawford bout in a bit in another video if you want to catch that one. But anyways, what's next for Inoue, man? Yo, guys, for me, I would say forget the Picasso fight. Right now, Inoue, at 32 years of age, he has badass challenges at 126. All right? The entrance of featherweight. That's where Inoue needs to go, guys. There is Angelo Leo. Angelo Leo, who had a badass fight with Eduardo Nunez, right? No, not Eduardo Nunez. I'm sorry. Venado Lopez. Sorry. Venado Lopez starched him out. And that was a good fight by Venado Lopez, by the way, but skill difference was there, right? So shout out to Angelo Leo on that win. Another champion, guys, Nick Ball. Nick Ball, who's also been calling for an Inoue fight. That's a badass fight guy, right? So right now we've got Angelo Leo, we've got Nick Ball. Next, we've got, well, Stephen Fulton's moving up to fight Oshaki Foster, right? So he's moving up in weight. And therefore, it is Shushu Carrington. Shushu Carrington, and I believe there's also a champion in recess, which is Ray Vargas. I'm a fan of Ray Vargas also. But he's in recess right now. And then last but not least, guys, we got Rafael El Divino Espinoza, who's perhaps the favorite in between all the champions at 126. So, guys, we got some great names. We got some great champs at 126 for Naoya Inoue. Forget the Picasso fight. And sorry for some fans that want that fight, but nah. He ain't got nothing more to prove at 122. Let me repeat that. Inoue got nothing more to prove at 122. What does that mean, guys? Can you imagine the magnitude? Can you imagine the magnitude if Inoue goes up and beats Nick Ball, Angelo Leo, Divino, if Divino is still there by that time, or Shushu Carrington? As a matter of fact, if Shushu Carrington and Divino Espinoza, if they unify sooner, hey, it makes things easier, right? It means they can go for 2 straps. What I mean is Inoue, when he sees that opportunity, he can just fight the winner of those 2 and then go ahead and unify with Nick Ball or Angelo Leo. But again, guys, can you imagine the magnitude if Naoya Inoue moves up to 126 and beats all those champions? That would be an accomplishment. So not only would Inoue be a 3-time undisputed champion in 3 weight classes, like Terrence Crawford now, the difference is Angelo Leo, Nick Ball, who's the other guy? I just forgot. Shushu Carrington and Divino Espinoza. It's debatable, right? Would those champions be better than Canelo's run at 168 when Canelo beat in 1 year? By the way, I don't think Canelo gets a lot of credit for that trajectory, right? He beat Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, and Caleb Plant, right? All within a year, if I'm not mistaken. I doubt Naoya Inoue could do that because of time constraints, promoter wars. Who knows? Maybe Turkey LSG could make that happen for Naoya Inoue. But back to Naoya Inoue, he needs good fights. Is Inoue gonna wait for Nakatani? Is Nakatani gonna move up? I think Nakatani might want to wait and fight Medina for that WBO strap. That's another good fight too for the fans. Or do you want Nakatani to go and fight Inoue at 122 before Inoue goes to 126? Or I guess after he fights Picasso, do you guys want to see that fight? Now, don't get me wrong, that's a good fight. Don't get me wrong. But for me, time is of the essence. I like champions that move up, dare to be great, right? Taking hard fights. And so that's what I got Inoue right now. Amazing performance against Murejan Akhmadaliev. You guys need to see that fight. You will be impressed. You will love the footwork. You will love those nice crosses right down the pipe that Inoue was doing in combination shots too on MJ. You guys are going to love this version or this latest performance by Naoya Inoue, who I believe should already go to 126 and fight, take more risks as others, as a Terrence Crawford just did with Canelo Alvarez. So that's what I got on this one, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys want to see Inoue just go to 126 now and fight for 3 times undisputed trajectory? Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you for another one on Al Cuerpo Boxing to the Body. Peace.